Hi, I'm Paul.
And I'm Brooke, and today on Make It, we're talking trash. Trash doves.
These illustrations became social media stickers that then turned into memes that took over the internet for a moment.
They're from Adobe Creative resident Syd Weiler, who is here to tell us the story of their creation.
And a little bit about copyright law here on Make It.
Syd, we are so excited to have you here.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's so cool to have you here. Obviously, illustrator, working digitally. You're also one of our creative residents.
I was last year, yeah.
Which is really cool. I want to hear about your experience.
I mean, it definitely didn't go as I expected, but it was awesome. Like, it was the best year of my life, definitely. It's so fantastic that this program is offered, and it completely changed my life and my career trajectory.
Again, you had a year to work on whatever you wanted.
It was a big transition.
Was that daunting?
I found my routine. I figured out when I like to work, how I like to work, what I needed to do to get myself ready to work. All of these things, you know, when you're not affected by outside schedules or other people you have to be meeting or working for or working with.
Right.
And was it committing to like live streaming every day?
Yeah, eventually that's what it became. Yeah,
Okay.
Eventually. I was streaming at the time, so I'm a streamer.
Where can people find you since you're talking about streaming?
I stream on Twitch right now, so I've been streaming on twitch.tv creative/Syd Weiler. I stream usually when I'm streaming on a schedule. I'll stream pretty much every weekday, anywhere from like 4 to 7 hours, depending on what I'm working on.
That's awesome. Wow.
It's my work day. It's my work day, yeah. So I
it.
sit down in the morning, go until the afternoon.
So you started this series of trash doves. I'm kind of curious, number one, what inspired the trash doves? And then maybe we can talk a little bit about kind of the adventure that happened after the trash doves.
God, we need like 7 hours. Yeah, so trash doves are a thing that I made that kind of overtook the internet for a little while, a couple months ago. When I was in Minneapolis in August, I was sitting by a pond by Loring Park. There's a big lake there. And I was sitting in the grass just kind of drawing, and there were a bunch of birds. Like, there were just tons of birds and pigeons and ducks and everything sitting around. I'd never really thought about pigeons before, but they're kind of cute, right? Like, in a gross way.
Yeah,
city rats.
Yeah, they're flying rats. But they were just so nice, just sitting in the grass. So I did a little drawing of a couple of them. It was just a dumb drawing. Whatever. I put it on Twitter and it like blew up. People really liked that dumb drawing of birds. So fast forward a couple months, my friend Shauna was jumping on the iOS sticker train. iOS was releasing stickers for iMessage. Anyone could submit their own sticker pack to the store. You didn't have to know how to program. You didn't have to know coding. All you had to know was how to draw, basically. And then you could put it into their app store. So she was like, hey, you should do this with me. Like, you should make some stickers with me this weekend. So I sat down that weekend and I streamed probably like 14 hours. I made the first 25 of what are now trash doves. They are a sticker pack for iOS and Facebook based on pigeons that I drew in Minneapolis. They're kind of just funny little birds. They really like bread.
And donuts.
And donuts.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
I loathe trash doves.
Exactly.
No, that's awesome. So you put them out there.
I put them on iOS, so they got featured on the App Store. They were on the front page of the App Store. They paid a couple months of rent, which was really cool. Like, there was good financial turnaround. And I just had fun. Like, people really liked them just on the internet in general, on Twitter and stuff. At Adobe Max, someone came to my table where we had stickers of these. She was like, these would make really cute, like, Facebook stickers. I'm like, well, they're already on iOS. I don't know how to put them on Facebook. She's like, I work for Facebook.
That's awesome.
Let me have the girl email you. So the person who heads up that whole department emailed me. They licensed the stickers. They went up on Facebook on the last day of January this year. It was quiet for about 10 days. And then Thailand discovered them. Apparently in Thailand, it's a joke. It's kind of like, they call it the friend zone here. It started out as a friend zone joke in Thailand. When you have a crush on someone and they don't return your favor, it's called knock. It's called being birded. So one of the stickers that I made is like, it's a headbanger. He flops his head all around. You've probably seen him on the internet. They started using that in that context as a joke about that. people started downloading the pack as they could for free on Facebook. They just started posting it, even if they didn't understand the joke, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there were a bunch of videos that people were sending me where the bird was edited with another dancing cat, where people were actually dancing along with the bird in like public, like they had edited themselves in with the bird, just dancing with it. And these videos had like hundreds of thousands of views already. I'm just like, what? And all of it was in like not my language, like it was not English. I couldn't read it. So I'm just like, oh my god, I don't know what's happening. It just kept going. Like, I was interviewed by Thai News. I was on their equivalent of PBS. There were all of these viral videos that were made. Basically, it was a meme. It created a meme where people could download the sticker pack. They could post the headbanging dove and just be a part of this phenomenon. So eventually, like, it spread outside of Thailand. It started going, I think it started going into like Hong Kong. It went to Taiwan, went to the Philippines, and then it kind of jumped over. People in Europe started telling me that they were seeing it. People in like South Africa and like South America, Brazil.
Was it a free download?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
The stickers are free on Facebook. So
Did it ever make the jump to anything outside of being posted in message boards?
Oh yeah, I mean there were hundreds of fan art pieces. People were drawing me.
I saw some little like pillow plushies of
People
them.
were making fan art. They were making. I've seen at least 2 dozen tattoos.
What?
There's
Really?
plushies, there's keychains, there's sculpts, there's paintings, there's cosplays, tons of cosplays where people have made my bird into like a human version and cosplayed it at conventions and stuff. And there was a lot of bootlegging at that point. Like I experienced mass theft. I think there are still probably like 150 apps on the Google Play Store that I can't get down. There were t-shirts and prints and stickers everywhere. Once I kind of figured out what I needed to do to have stuff taken down and started just like getting into the zone of filing copyright claims to take, you know, illegal merchandise down, people were trying to profit off of my art ultimately. One night I was on Amazon and I had to file on 800 Trash Dove t-shirts.
Oh my god.
In one night. In one night. 800 separate t-shirts that people had made with my art.
I mean, aside from the, you know, all the copyright issues, like in some ways it has to be incredibly flattering that people are so
really
in love
cool.
with something that you created kind
really,
of on
really
a whim.
Cool. Yeah, when you think about it in that context, like I think like I don't have numbers, but I'm gonna guess that the stickers on Facebook are gonna end up on like the all-time high charts.
But it's kind of interesting. It's like things that you never thought that you'd have to learn as an illustrator is IP and copyright law.
Well,
you
it's
know?
stuff that you would expect that they would cover in school. It was never ever covered in my art degree. There's a lot to it.
There is.
So
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah. So speaking of your work, would you be willing to show us
Totally.
some of your stuff? I know you've been doing a lot of Photoshop brushes recently. So would you be willing to show us some of your process?
Totally.
Sweet.
Awesome. You have a Trash Doves file open. I am dying to know how you make these things.
I kind of just started, like I didn't really know how big to make them originally, so I just made them very big. And then I just kept making the file even bigger. So
Did you work on them
Not
all
the
this way, or
most-
you probably did
Yeah.
one and then did another in a different file? This is just a
no,
compiled.
I would just kind of fill them in as
really?
I was going.
Just bounce
So
around.
this file's pretty big. Let's see. Yeah, it's 44 inches wide.
300 DPI.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
It was very collaborative. Like while I was working on them, I would kind of say like, hey, like what's a fun bread joke? People would like make one. People would be like, make one about a bread bowl or
Oh,
like
right, because you
a
were doing
garlic
this while
stick.
you were
while I was
twitching.
streaming. So a lot of the kind of jokes were arrived at with the audience in
That's
a way,
fun.
which
That
was really
is
fun.
cool.
They'd give me like design feedback on where to place text because I'm not really like a lettering artist or anything like that.
Is that all hand lettered too then?
Yeah. In the end, like you can see it's pretty thin here. I had to make all of the text thicker because when you're sending them and they're very small, it's really hard to see. So, I had to
as far as
bigger.
making the sticker packs and everything, they're just files at certain sizes?
pretty
Is
much,
that
yeah.
essentially-
You actually have to downsize them to like 408 pixels squared, and then you just save out a transparent file, put it into Xcode into your project, and then.
And it's good that you
Very
made
cool.
it probably large enough as well.
Oh
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
probably
So
the
these are pretty
thing.
big. I can print them onto stuff. They're all probably they're not huge. They're all probably like 4 or 5 inches, but that's way bigger than 400 pixels.
Sure.
So, yeah, they have more application.
Yeah. That's,
So, go ahead.
yeah. No, I think we're going to say the same
I was going to say, I'm
thing.
dying to see your brush
see?
process.
Okay. I was working on a project called Gardens. So these are car gardens. I just kind of started getting into like a little sketch series where I would draw a vehicle like all broken up and overgrown. And I would make one of these per week on stream, starting about a year ago actually. I got to this one. I got 4 in. And I was drawing all of this little tiny foliage. I was drawing each thing individually. I was like, there has to be a way to do this like faster. And it was on this one, this old timey car here, that I was like, let me actually try to make a brush that does leaves. So I made a brush. I made this brush right here that does this kind of vining stuff. I was able to just do one stroke and do a bunch of leaves. It looked fine, and then I was able to go back and put the stem into it because I hadn't figured out how to do the stem yet. And it just sped up my process so much. You can see where I was starting to play with, you know, scatter brushes and vining brushes and bush brushes and flower brushes. It's kind of like a segue between my work and my design work, and also just a tool that you can use. These brushes, I call them magic, but they're not magic. They are kind of just a shortcut, I guess, in a lot of ways. They cut down on some of your repetitive stress movements. And I think it's just a good use of the medium itself, of Photoshop itself. You know, I've made brushes that emulate other mediums. I really like using texture in my work, so I'm working on my own chalk set right now. But I think that the Photoshop brush engine is capable of this, and that's what makes it really, really unique. I don't think that a lot of people think of it that way, and I kind of stumbled into using it for that myself.
Now, what I think is really cool about this is when I go out to get a Photoshop brush, you just see the point that it makes, or you see like something. I love how that you're showing. It's sort of an inspiration and like, oh, hey, here's a great way to use this. I think that's really awesome.
Thank you. I think it's also limiting because people look at that and they're like, oh, that's all you can do with it.
Right.
Because a lot of the stuff, I mean, you could use these for leaves, you could use them for grass, you could use this for clouds. It doesn't matter. Here's a little piece. I've got this one. I was working on this. This is just the foliage in my backyard outside my parents' house. I've been sitting out on the back porch and kind of looking at the treescape and finding inspiration in those shapes. This, you know, doesn't feel quite bushy enough. I want to make it a little bit bushier. Let's go fix some scattering. I don't really want much.
So now, do you adjust these each time you use them?
Depends on what I do. I try to save a very general kind of overall thing, and then as I need to adjust, I can go and fix it. Say I want it to be a little bit tighter here. Say I want there to be more. Let's go pick a color.
And again, you could save the default brush settings could be set up this way as well.
Yeah. It just gets kind of tedious because you end up with so many files.
Right.
I already have thousands of files of just the main kind of shape. So saving something as general as possible so that I can go in and use it if I want to use it again later is good for me. So say I want to add more leaves in here.
You got some really scattering. Cool. Looks like the rotation hasn't changed.
Let's do some flip X so we've got some of that. Adds a little bit more of the angle into there. Do some more count. And we can just kind of layer in more of a nice feeling of like, you know,
that's awesome.
Happy little trees.
And if you just do it in this white area, just really fast. So again, with one stroke, you're obviously, you know,
putting in a lot of foliage.
You know,
so you layer the colors up. Yeah, that works that way. So these guys do stuff like this.
That's so fun. I love it.
Definitely cuts down a lot of time. Yeah. We can do some like, you know, thicker.
It's like a cheat. It's like a Photoshop cheat.
Yeah.
Making a jungle.
You know?
Yeah, but it's not cheating because you're already making that brush.
I need to get these. Where do you?
I have these available on Patreon right now. They are not available for sale anywhere like Gumroad. They're just kind of on like a subscription box system.
So this scene, for instance, how long did this take you using your brushes?
I mean, I was making each of these brushes as I was going, so the development's a little bit quicker. I worked on this for a couple hours the other night when I was outside.
No big deal.
Yeah,
just sitting outside,
this together.
making
some like such power you have. You're creating these environments quickly.
It's crazy. So now, if people want to come find these, you're Syd Weiler everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah, just
W-E-I-L-E-R.
Behance, as you can see here.
Yeah, Behance. I've got it linked all to my Behance if you want to go there.
Syd, thank you so much for coming on to the Make It Show.
Guys.
It has been a blast.
Thank you so much.
We feel empowered. So tune in every week, guys. We're going to have amazing artists, illustrators, who knows, awesome people. So join us every week. you.